everybody! So it's Monday and that means it's time for family movie night, and this week we are going to be looking at our second Barbie movie. We're looking at Barbie of Swan Lake, and this is the third Barbie film. Like I said, it's the second one we're looking at, and it is the second one based on a ballet because you had Barbie Nutcracker, which I will review probably around Christmas sometime. It was released in 2003 direct to DVD at the time, and it obviously adapts the Tchaikovsky ballet for Swan Lake, and it's, I think, pretty good. I like it. I think it's a solid little movie. The thing that sets this movie apart is I think it actually tells a pretty good little story, a good fairy tale, and I think that the animation is a little bit better from Barbie Rapunzel. It still doesn't look the most rendered and the most polished. You can tell it's 2003 direct to DVD, but I think it's watchable, and so I don't mind it. And also another standout to this film are the music. The orchestration was excellent. At certain points it was almost a little distracting because the music was so good that I maybe focused on it a little more than I should. The story of this particular version of Swan Lake is that there is this girl named Odette who is a daughter of a baker, and one day they meet a unicorn named Leela. Leela runs into an enchanted forest, and Odette, being kind of a curious girl, she follows Leela into this forest, and it turns out that Leela ends up getting trapped. To free Leela, Odette takes this magic crystal from this tree, and she doesn't realize though that taking the magic crystal means that she is kind of like the chosen one. It's sort of like Sword in the Stone that way. The one who is able to retrieve and find the crystal is the one who is the chosen one. And what that means is that she is the one that is supposed to rid the forest of the evil sorcerer Rothbart. And Rothbart had control over, it's kind of like the evil witch sort of, and he's had control over this enchanted forest. Well, she doesn't want to become this chosen one, and so she kind of fights it at first. Well, Rothbart turns her into a swan, and he thinks that's going to sort of stop her, but there's this fairy queen who tempers the curse and is able to make it so that Odette is only a swan during the day and can be a human at night. Things get more complicated when a prince is sent by, kind of tricked by Rothbart to go hunting in the enchanted forest, because Rothbart is hoping that the prince will kill the swan in the hunt. Well, it turns out he's really transfixed by the swan, and so he doesn't kill the swan. And then of course when she has her human form, they fall in love, and he's really in awe for her. And so it turns out, so Odette starts doing some research along with some of her friends that have also been changed into, from dwarfs, I think, or elves. In the enchanted forest, they get changed into other animals. There is a skunk and a porcupine. And so they kind of help, along with the fairy queen, kind of help Odette to figure out the solution to this problem. And it turns out the thing that will reverse the curse and help her to not be a swan is if she finds true love. So it turns out that they're having a ball at the castle, and so Odette kind of gets some training, I guess, in how to waltz and how to be ready so that that the prince will remember her and will fall in love with her. Well, Rothbart is kind of one step ahead, and he turns his daughter Odile into Odette, and so that the prince, when he sees her, when he dances with her, he confesses his love for Odette, but it's really Odile. And so Rothbart thinks that that has made the curse permanent, and because true love is no longer a possibility, I guess. This greatly weakens Odette, so she almost dies when this false confession of love is given, and the fairy queen ends up getting turned into a mouse by Rothbart, and it seems pretty like, oh, things are going to be bad. But as they sort of fall into each other, I guess, because the prince is devastated, they end up holding hands, and that action of them holding hands ends up activating the power of the crystal, and and Rothbard gets defeated, and everything gets turned out as it should be. And so it's a classic kind of fairy tale type story. It's not reinventing the wheel, but I thought it was really well executed. And Rothbard is voiced by Kelsey Grammer, and I think he's actually a really good vocal performer. It's a little distracting sometimes for me because I just keep thinking of Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons. In a way, that kind of works because he's a villainous character in this, and so Sideshow Bob's obviously villainous as well. And overall, I just think it's really solid and entertaining. Does it reinvent the wheel? No. Is it the best animated animation I've ever seen? No. But it's solid. And it's a pretty good story, and it has a nice little message for kids, you know, for girls, about being curious and embracing new things and learning and having friends, and of course there's the romantic part too of falling in love and everything like that. And of good, you know, defeating evil, which is the main point of most fairy tales. So I like it. I think it's good. I do think the animation could be better. It's not the greatest, but it's good enough. So yeah, that's kind of what I think about Barbie of Swan Lake. I think it's a really solid little entertaining film. So if you've seen it, let me know what you think. And thanks so much. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!